Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jump and today I'm doing my top 5 favourite moments from God of War Ragnarok. Now, with God of War Ragnarok, I'd say it's like a good and decent follow-up to the 2018 game, and I think that the other game does answer a lot of the questions that the 2018 game set up, as well as getting to see a lot more of getting to see a lot more of the things that the game had, or the 2018 game um, had set up and just talked about here and there in throwaway lines. And yeah, in this video, I'm just talking about some of my favorite moments from the game. So for number 5 is the Heimdall fight. Now Heimdall in the game is set up to be kind of an asshole, and he really is, because like when you first meet him in Asgard, he's just an asshole to Atreus, and he just has and he'll put and from the first interaction with him, he'll drop, or he'll let go of Atreus without a second thought. When Atreus was climbing up the wall that surrounds Asgard. And when it comes to his fight, I feel like that fight is so satisfying, because you kind of get to humble him a bit, because in the game it said that Heimdall is Odin's eyes, I think, or because he reads people's thoughts or something like that, and he's able to basically dodge pretty much every single move that anybody throws at him. Like with your first introduction of him, he's able to dodge pretty much all of Atreus' attacks. And when it comes to fighting him, you'll need a weapon that he won't see coming. And yeah, and that becomes with the spear that you get, that you forge with Brock, I think. Yeah, and I do like the fight because it's so satisfying just to beat Heimdall. And I think what stands out to me the most in that fight is that at the very end of the fight, and it's when Kratos has Heimdall pinned down on the floor, and he basically put in a better words, strangles him to death. I can't really put it. That's probably the best way I can put it. I can't really sugarcoat it. And for that moment, you can see like the true Kratos sort of slipping me out, like the Kratos from the original God of War games, so God of War 1, 2, and 3. You can kind of see that version of Kratos coming out when he has Heimdall pinned on the floor, and that's very that and you can hear Heimdall say monster, and that's very scary, because Heimdall has taunted Kratos about beating up Atreus, and I feel like, to me, that's at the point where Kratos he just goes in for the attack. He just wants to just beat Heimdall until he can't walk anymore, or better word phrasing. In terms of like just getting rid of Heimdall off like the Ragnarok chessboard or whatever. So yeah. For number 4 is seeing more of Jotunheim. Now Jotunheim we got to see a bit of in the God of War 2018 game, and that was when that was at the very end of the game, where both Atreus and Kratos spread Faye's ashes on the highest peak. And in this game, we get to see more of it, with Atreus going, like, I think, just stumbling in. Or, I think, from what I remember, he's asleep, and then he just so happens to go into Jotunheim, where he meets Angrboda. And, yeah, I would say it's actually very fun and interesting, just getting to see more of Jotunheim, because from what we've been told, it's the realm of the giants. And even though there's, in terms of giant, as in giants, we get to see one giant, if you know what I'm talking about. That being Angry Boda's auntie, I think, auntie or mum. I think it's auntie, and yeah, it's good. It's really cool to see like how this realm supports life and how Angry Boda and her aunt just go around their daily basis. Like with Angry Boda, she's the person who's been drawing all the murals, and she doesn't really talk to her auntie that much in the game, from what I remember. And yeah, it's just really cool to see just and how it all kind of like continues the story a bit, because like there's a bit with Atreus, which I'm going to talk about later in the video, when he learns about Kratos' apparent death, when he finds that particular mural. So yeah, for number 3 is seeing Asgard. Now, and this is more of the first time we get to see Asgard, and what I like about seeing Asgard, like the whole of it, is that it's very, I would say, like, because the whole of Asgard is kind of like, in terms of the structures, the realm itself, it's very, very calming in a sense, even though this is the main hub of where, or the main base of operations of where the main villains are, where it's Odin, Thor, Heimdall, and various other Asgardians. And when you see like Asgard as a whole, it's just basically these sort of wooden stone buildings, and yeah, that's really because like the only other Asgard that I've seen like on screen is the Asgard from the Marvel movies, and with that Asgard is all of these giant orchestral golden palaces, and with the Asgard in God of War Ragnarok, it doesn't feel real. Like it just feels like it feels like a front to like, oh, this is Asgard, but then that's just a ploy. This is behind this part of the realm, or this part of the wall. Here's the real Asgard. But with this particular Asgard, it's just it feels like it feels like it's a place you want to go, even though it's the main base of operations for the main bad guys of the game. And yeah, they're just really cool, and and it's kind of like it's just it kind of like, I think it was because like I was just half expecting the whole golden palaces sort of thing, like in the Marvel films, and when I saw Asgard as the like these sticks and stones and these wooden not boats, houses. Yeah, there we go. These wooden houses. I was like, oh, that's actually quite interesting and quite cool. And I do like how you can how it serves the final fight. Obviously, because it's because the game is based on the Norse mythology of Ragnarok. So yeah, so I think it's quite cool. For number 2 is Atreus using to control his rage. Now, this one I think is quite a quite nice payoff to the moment about the halfway section in 2018 God of War, because we get to see Atreus sort of use his rage a bit, but it was just one of those moments. It was basically a moment where Atreus used his rage and he became unconscious, and that's when he became sick. And in this game, I would say throughout the course of the game, whenever he does use his rage, Atreus starts to control it a bit more, better and better, until I think when he goes to Jotunheim, he's able to fully control his rage, and that's when he becomes either a wolf or a bear. And I do like Atreus' version of his rage, because it's a reference to the 2018 God of War, where he asks Kratos if he could turn into an animal, and he can in this game. I think it's both a wolf and a bear, and yeah, I think it's also from what I've seen on. I think there's a video talking about the 2018 God of War game. There'll probably be a screenshot or something on screen now about how Loki in Norse mythology could turn into animals and stuff like that. So yeah, I do like how you've got these two. You got Atreus and Kratos who can both use a different version of Spartan rage. How one's more anger inducing, more to do with fists and punching and stuff, while the other one's more, I would say, calming in a sense. And even though it's still rage, it's based on these two animals and stuff like that. So yeah. And for number one is the two Thor fights. Now, Thor in the game, I would say, is sort of a broken person throughout the whole course of God of War Ragnarok, because even though he's this huge battle warrior type of Asgardian, I would say he's more of a broken character inside, because there are moments where we see Thor as a drunk, and I think during the bar fight he's sort of, he kind of you can see him afterwards, you can see him sort of half defeated in a sort of sense. And with the first fight, I just love it because it's this is kind of like what you're expecting in a fight against the God of Thunder. And then once you re-fight him again at the end of the game, I do like how it's kind of you have to use similar tactics, but I think the Thor is more enraged because one is Ragnarok, and two, he saw Kratos interacting with his daughter, and because of the heat of the battle, I would say that Thor was that more angry. And I do like how the end of the fight, of the second one that is, Kratos is able to get through to Thor in a way, and I think that what makes his death scene at the hands of Odin that more surprising, and that more just surprising, and sort of makes Odin more of an arsehole, because Thor, he's just doing what his dad's telling him to, and because Thor drinks a lot, I would say that he just does what he's told and just does what needs to be done. But as soon as Kratos gets through to Thor, you can kind of see the gears and the mechanisms just going off in Thor's head. And as soon as he drops Mjolnir, that's when Odin decides to just use his spear and just ram it through Thor's body. And yeah, that's that. And yeah, with Thor as with the design, I think it's fine. I think design wise for Thor, I think it's very Nordic, Asgardian, something like that, something along the two. And yeah, I'd say overall those two fights are really awesome. And also with the first fight, I do like how they both Kratos and Thor just hurl insults to each other from time to time, and I do like how when both of their weapons clash, it creates this sort of icy electrical pillar, which we do get to see again later in one of the other realms, which was another Thor fight against Faye. So, which is also why Thor says he's seen this sort of attack or pattern form icicle pillar thing similar before in the past. So yeah, so that's been my top 5 favorite God of War moments. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.